Warwick and a wonderful tune, which you know the title of because it's been on a lot. Well, ladies and gentlemen, it's time for the fascinating fact file. Did you know that in 1912, this very week, the healthy hat frame was patented? It was a thing designed to prevent headaches caused by weighty headgear. It rested on the shoulders and allowed the wearer's head to move independently of the hat. Shut up. The ultimate idea was to wear a hat big enough to avoid the use of a parasol or umbrella. That was a fact that you could not live without. Brought to you by Radio 2, the station with lumpy bits. And now it's contest time. Last week, we put a record into the echo chamber because we don't care. But when we brought it out, this was the answer. A boxed set of Tchaikovsky's albums from the EMI goes to Rita Bibby of 11A Waverley Road, Liverpool. Les Corner, what's that funny name? Oh, Lesby Avenue. He gets the Warner home video of Superman. He lives in Nutbourne, Chich, West Sussex. Congratulations, Les. And the runners-up are Alan Wright, Ursula Jaffray, Sue Meacham, Julie Bannister, Simon Turner, and Michelle Doyle. And they get Olivia Newton-John's greatest hits. Today's prize, you'll faint a lot when I tell you.
I said it wasn't fantastic. I was, of course, just being sarcastic. Sorry for what I've done. You're not like everyone. I'd like a chance to say sorry for yesterday. It was the best, girl, so I suggest, girl, if you would let me put it right, I won't be sorry tonight. Sorry, sincerely, sorry, I clearly hope you can hear me, because I'm really sorry for what I've done. You're not like everyone. I'd like a chance to say sorry for yesterday. I like your cool style, you've got a great smile. Oh, how I wish I'd made you stay. I'm sorry, what more can I say? I'm a fool, I admit it. Should have given you a little more respect. So I like to talk it over, make a promise that I hope you will accept. I said it wasn't fantastic. I was, of course, just being sarcastic. Sorry for what I've done. You're not like everyone. I'd like a chance to say sorry for yesterday. It was the best, girl, so I suggest, girl, if you would let me put it right, I won't be sorry tonight. Sorry for what I've done. You're not like everyone. I'd like a chance to say sorry for yesterday. It was the best, girl, so I suggest, girl, if you would let me put it right, I won't be sorry tonight. I won't be sorry tonight. I won't be sorry tonight.
Was it my turn? Oh, sorry, darlings. I was just reading the next fabulous introduction to the next wonderful record. This week's prizes, you won't believe it, but I'll tell you anyway.
Today's prize comes from outer space. Yes, you've guessed it. A huge pile of thingies from E.T.
Yes, he's right, folks. A great bundle of stuff from the new film E.T., which is hitting your screens very soon. And this incredible bag of E.T. goodies includes T-shirts, soundtrack albums, books, a soft E.T. toy thing in feather leather, Relevance, and tickets to see E.T. at a cinema near your Aunt Ethel. It's too good to believe, isn't it? What's happened to Auntie? She's going potty. Stay tuned to this show for a fantastic selection of amazing prizes between now and Christmas, it says here. Here you go. Well, we would tell you who next week's winners are, but we haven't got them yet. And that's where you come in, darlings, because we want you to write to us and tell us what this is. It's a modern record. It's in the charts right now by a young lady from America, but we've stuffed it through the Wobbletron and made it all sound like this. Bit difficult, isn't it? I think that's very difficult. Think anyone will get it? We'll just have to wait and see. If you don't quite win the E.T., if you're a runner-up, you get the Warner home video of Excalibur, which is also very fascinating. Pretenders and I go to sleep. It's 11:30. And the next contest is one of those where we get a record and we play it faster and 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 faster. Pardon? And we hope that you won't get it because there's only so many prizes to go around. In fact, that last thing we played to you, the contest, was it. All the other contests are just between you and me.
And now it's classic time.
Yes, folks, it's classic time right here on Radio 2. 114 years ago, this very day, Rossini popped his clogs. But this is some of the stuff he left behind. good stuff he wrote. Lots of tuney bits, very frantic and Italian and pastory. Here's probably his most famous one. Stirring stuff from Rossini. And then there was this. That's called Dance for Six from William Tell. Of course, the most famous part of William Tell is the bit they used for the General Mills bringers of Cheerios, the breakfast that goes in one end, and I'm stopping right there. And here's a bit of the actual radio program. Note the announcer's voice. It's all from over the past. It's way back in his toes. Listen.
Force with the speed of light, a cloud of dust, and a haughty Hi-Yo Silver, the Lone Ranger. With his faithful Indian companion Tonto, the daring and resourceful masked rider of the plains led the fight for law and order in the early western United States. Nowhere in the pages of history can one find a greater champion of justice. Return with us now to those thrilling days of yesteryear. From out of the past come the thundering hoofbeats of the great horse Silver. The Lone Ranger rides again. Come on, Silver. Let's go, big fellow. Hi-Yo, Silver. Hi!
Now, back to the records.
Everything was done, oh yeah, yeah. All of a sudden, all let's reggae down. Oh, yeah, yeah. Get better acquainted so that everything will be fine. Hey, lady. Hey, baby, what's your name? Is it Mrs. or is it Miss A? If you smile yourself, I'd like to take you for a ride. We can check the scene and we can reggae down, and we'll be singing ooh la la la. Let's go dancing, ooh la la la. Come on, let's go reggae dancing, ooh la la la. Let's go dancing, ooh la la la. Reggae dancing, well, it's a bad song. So you're happy. Do you wanna come dancing? Reggae dancing. Now we on the floor. Give me some more. Oh, yeah, yeah. The world is yours for dancing. Yeah. Just let that music take you. Can't you hear him singing? Ooh la la la. Let's go dancing. Ooh la la la. We are reggae dancing. Ooh la la la. Let's go dancing. Ooh la 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 la.
That's Kool and the Gang, and let's go reggae. It's 21 minutes to 12 o'clock. Weather outside is sort of, it's hanging about waiting to see what it wants to do with itself. Okay, contest time now. We've speeded up a well-known tune. What the heck is it? We'll tell you the answer, if you don't know already, in just a more. But first, here's a Radio 3 goof. When normal people goof, they go, goofed. But on Radio 3, they make a meal of it. In fact, the only thing they don't do is set it to music. Here comes a guy who played the wrong record. In the middle of this, he goes, I'm terribly sorry. Like he thinks as though he's going to be fired or something. I don't know who he is, but here he is.
Now, before I read the news, which is already 3 minutes late, I'm afraid, I have an apology to make about the Chopin piano music program that went out a little earlier, between 10:30 and 11:15, because I've discovered that I got my bands mixed when playing that, and instead of playing the 2 Opus 62 nocturnes, I only played the second of them, and then an unannounced barcarolle, the one in F-sharp major Opus 60. Well, I'm very sorry about that, having messed up Opus 62, and I only hope that the surprise item may have delighted 1 or 2 barcarolophiles.
What?
But I'll try not to let it happen again. Too often, anyway.
You naughty boy. Of course, on the 3rd floor, they were fairly upset, and they had a meeting or 9 about it. And eventually they locked him in a room and made him read the listener.
And now, step inside a memory module.
I'm happier than the morning sun. That's the way you said that it would be. If I should ever bring you inside my life, I'm happier than the morning sun. And that's the way you said that it would be. If I should ever bring you inside my life, all of my life I was alone, didn't think I'd find my part. Now I see there's joy inside your heart. Every day I search for the star that never was in the sky. And now I see this star is on the earth. And I happier than the morning sun. That's the way you said that to me. If I gave you a chance to come inside my life, I am happier than the morning sun. And that's the way it will always be. Ever since the day you came inside my life.
Long ago, and oh so far away, I fell in love with you before the second show. Your guitar, it sounds so sweet and clear, but you're not really here. It's just the radio. Don't you remember you told me you loved me, baby? You said you'd be coming back this way again, baby. Baby, 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 oh baby, I love you, I really do.
If you were red tonight, remember what I said tonight. For red is the color that my baby wore, and what's more is true. Yes, it is. Scarlet were the clothes she wore. Everybody knows, I'm sure. I would remember all the things we planned. Understand it's true. Yes, it is, it's true. Yes, it is. I could be happy with you by my side if I could forget her, but it's my pride. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Oh, yes, it is. Yeah. Please don't wear red tonight. This is what I said tonight.
A little bundle of slowies there. Stevie Wonder, the Carpenters, and the Beatles. Well, today is the anniversary of Robert Louis Stevenson being born 132 years ago. Arr, Jim lad, arr. And the Lord Mayor's procession will be trolling through London today. Rossini died. 2LO started transmitting tomorrow, with the 6 o'clock news read by Arthur Burroughs 60 years ago. And now, the answer to our contest. Did you guess it was this? That's Gilbert, who's got a new record out right at this very moment. 13 minutes to 12 o'clock.
Kenny Everett is a cult.
Is it what? Do you know it's the anniversary of the Gettysburg Address, too? President Lincoln's Gettysburg Address, as we all know. It was 34 Wilberforce Avenue, Gettysburg, and that's 119 years ago when he said... Hang on. Government of the people, by the people, for the people, shall not perish from the earth. Do you think Reagan's a person? I don't know about that. Tell you what, fancy a bit of Weber. Weber? Yes. He was a Viennese composerette who lived many years ago, and it's the anniversary of his birth or death as well today. And he wrote this frilly bit. Wonderful. Weber and a little twiddly bit from Vienna. If you fancy old themes from radio shows and you'd like to test your memoric skill, stay tuned. We'll be going through half a dozen of them.
Sometimes
I want to know what shabama means. And until we find out, that record is not going to be played on my show. And now, it's 7 minutes to 12. Sky overcast, or are the windows tinted? Yes, the windows are tinted. Can't wear sexy here. I just spotted a shaft of silver sunlight bouncing off Langham Place. Now, where are we? Oh, yes, we're in Studio 94, and it's time for Old Times time.
Now, an antique memory module.
Yes, he's right, folks. Themes from the past. Dig this lot. Let's just tune in my antique wireless set here. That's one that's still going. Did you guess all those tunes? So did I, except for a couple, but here they are, in order of appearance. In Town Tonight was first, then Victor Sylvester's theme, You're Dancing on My Heart. Then TV Newsreel, remember Alexandra Palace with all the white rings coming out and the white letters dancing around your screen? Paul Temple was next. Dick Barton, Music While You Work, which is coming back to Radio, I think it's 2, coming back on Radio 2 in January. Housewife's Choice, Down Your Way, which is a bit different. I think they've changed the theme to that, I think. Sports Report, and The Archers. It's 2 minutes to 12. You know what I feel like?
I feel so lonely when I'm left alone, and I know you're having fun with all the other boys in town. Why am I the only one? I'm a first-class loser that you don't want to have around. I keep calling in the dead of night. I say you're gonna start reading
Yes, that's Bucks Fizz and Piece of the Action from many moments ago. Just a little time for the next contest now. We've put a record into the backwards machine and it's all come out. What the heck is this? Bit difficult, that one. She's only ever done one record, I think. I don't think she did a follow-up. It's an American lady who came over here and danced a lot brilliantly and sang that record. We'll tell you what it is after this.
It's midday. James Alexander Gordon at the Radio 2 News Desk. There's been serious crowd trouble during the first cricket test between Australia and England at Perth, and almost certainly England supporters were to blame. Near the end of the day's play, and as England's score reached 400, a crowd of spectators, one of them carrying a Union Jack, invaded the pitch. The Australian fast bowler, Terry Alderman, was struck on the head as he rugby tackled his assailant. He fell heavily, dislocating his shoulder. Police moved in to break up the fighting as Australian supporters moved in among the English spectators. The game was held up for 15 minutes. The day ended with Australia 30 without loss in answer to England's first innings total of 411. The Polish Interior Ministry said this morning that Lech Wałęsa, leader of the band's Solidarity Union, was released from internment today. But a mystery continues about where he is, and his wife Danuta says she hasn't heard from him. Wałęsa was arrested 11 months ago when military rule was imposed on Poland. In Lebanon, a bomb has exploded at the refugee camp in Beirut, which Princess Anne visited yesterday. One person is known to have died and 3 others injured. It's not yet known who planted the bomb. It's reported from South Africa that about 60 prisoners of war will be exchanged by Angola and South Africa on Monday. Among them are 2 Soviet pilots captured when their plane was shot down 2 years ago, and a Russian naval petty officer captured by South African troops in southern Angola. 2 American mercenaries are also expected to be among the POWs handed over. People living in Cumbria and the Scottish Borders area are without their ITV1 programmes today. A strike by members of the Technicians Union, ACTT, has taken the local station Border off the air. The dispute is over a letter sent to members of staff by the station's managing director, saying there would be repercussions if the number of industrial disputes wasn't reduced. A music student at Surrey University has been awarded a £2,000 scholarship in memory of the Beatle John Lennon. The award, marking the 20th anniversary of the Beatles' first record, went to David Wilson from Edinburgh. Our next news on Radio 2 at 1 o'clock.
Thank you. Weather soon, but first the answer to our contest. This was the backward record. Forward, it sounds like this. Yes, indeed. It's Tony Basil and Hey Mickey. Whatever happened to the follow-up? 3 minutes after 12 o'clock, and the weather sounds like this. All areas will have sunny intervals, but also showers. Heavy at times, frequent in the north and west, and wintry on northern hills. It'll feel rather cold and become windy. Want to know what's number 1 in the gay disco charts? Yeah! Okay, here it is.
Don't get me wrong, don't think you got it made.
thank you to Record Shack Records shop in Soho for giving us that one, because you can't get it anywhere else, and they specialise in groovy stuff. How come if you can't get it anywhere, it's number one in the radio chart? That's what I want to know. It's 6 minutes after 12 o'clock, and it's our birthday tomorrow.
Happy birthday to you.
Yes, happy birthday, Beeb Thib, 60 years old tomorrow.
Happy birthday, dear Auntie.
And of course, as you know, the BBC in the old days, 1930s it was, wasn't it? Something like that, 20s, was the British Broadcasting Company, and it was composed of about 8 commercial concerns, like the people who made the valves and the people who made the earphones. They all got together and created the British Broadcasting Company. And here's a voice from that time, from our archives, talking about the sort of the agonies of getting it all together.
On Saturday morning, I arrived at the offices of the General Electric Company in Kingsway, where I'd been informed temporary accommodation had been put at our disposal. A large notice in their entrance hall announced as follows: British Broadcasting Company, 2nd floor. This was rather reassuring. One was therefore not altogether unexpected, and there really was such a thing as the BBC.
And golly, there still is such a thing as the BBC. Even though there are marauders around our ankles, we're still 10 foot tall. Not making any money, but... and here's a guy who actually did the Uncle Mac sort of... It was not actually Uncle Mac, but when they were in the BBC in the early days, they all sort of took turns at being Uncle. And here's one of those ancient, antique, cobweb-ridden guys.
Throughout the day, we worked like lunatics in a pandemonium such as I hope may never fall to anyone else's experience. And at 5 o'clock or thereabouts, such of us as came within the category of uncles dashed down Kingsway to our temporary studio at Marconi House to give a few cheery words to the children of the British Isles, or at any rate to such as came within range of the London station.
And here's another creaky old announcer.
One cannot recall those early days without smiling. And yet, as Sir John Reith has so finely said, there was something big, even colossal, conveyed in the nature of the contract we had undertaken. Nobody could tell to what extent broadcasting would catch on, nor indeed whether it would take on at all. There was no precedent, no store of...